Before I get started on any other video, I got to do a video about what I saw this evening on ABC. Jimmy Kimmel got together with Norma Lear, and because he's a fan of All in the Family, Jeffersons, Good Times, Maude, Sanford Son, all those shows that Norman Lear produced during the '70s. I mean, this dude was prolific. If he didn't create them, he either adapted from other sources or other people created, but he was the one that picked certain shows that in today's format can never be on TV in a way, because the jokes would go over people's head and people too damn sensitive and people will misconstrue what's being said. That's why when everybody talking about Roseanne, how can I say this? They When Roseanne came on, the people on the right took it as if Roseanne was claiming something about Midwestern values. And it became political in the way that it seemed like it will be used as a hate, as a how American can you be seen or not be seen. And that's different than All in the Family and the Jeffersons was during this time, because we was polarized, but we wasn't polarized the way now that you either right to the left. There's no in between. There's no nuance anymore. So to the All in the Family Jefferson show wouldn't work in today's format. But as a fan of those shows, and even though I found out later on that Norman Lear didn't create the shows, he executive produced. He got writers and others, but it was other people that created the show. And Eric Monty, who don't get credit, the brother from Chicago, Community Green Projects. Okay, he wrote Cooley High. He created the Jeffersons. Yes, he submitted a script thanks to Michael Evans, who played Lionel, the real Michael Evans who played Lionel. That's how they both got together and created Good Times. Eric Monty created George and Louise, and Henry and what's not, and Lionel. Norman Lear was just executive producer. They keep saying Norman Lear, but it's actually Eric Monty's creation. What's happening? Eric was based off the Cooley High. Eric Monty. But I'll get that to another time. But I want people to understand, when everybody keep praising Norman Lear, he had actors and writers that brought his creations or things he produced or put his name behind in life. So when people talk about Norman Lear, you got to understand that you had a cast of actors that brought to life. Nobody's going to ever replace Sherman Hemsley and Carol Connor. These two created some iconic characters and movements and nuances that will go over everybody's head. Like Carol Connor was nowhere near Archie. He was liberal. I mean, super liberal. Now, in his last years, he became obsessed with the guy that sold his son drugs, and which is sad. He spent his last remaining days aching over his only child. Now, that being said, Sherman Hemsley, as far as we know, he had no children. I think he had a sibling or a sister or something, but Sherman Hemsley lived on through George Jefferson, Amen, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and other TV shows like Lois and Clark. But George Jefferson set a tone, and it doesn't get enough credit, in my opinion. But it is what it is, and I think it's up to us as Black Americans to start pushing back on who created what and who influenced what. But that be told, that's being said. Excuse me. I'm not shocked. But anyways, I watched the ABC version of. They did a live. Jamie Foxx, Marissa Tomei, Woody Harrelson, Wanda Sykes, and the rest of the cast. And I'm gonna tell you something. They did a pretty good job. I think Woody Harrelson was miscast as Archie because he was trying to do too much of Carol Connor. And maybe they set out to do that on purpose. But it just shows you how brilliant Carol Connor was with his mannerisms. That's why I say nuance. But I'm going to tell you somebody that surprised the hell out of me. Marissa Tomei. Now, I've never, ever thought of Eva Bunker as being sexy or even fantasizing about her. But I ain't gonna lie, I always had a thing about from Melissa Torme ever since she was on Different World back in the day. But she made Edith Bunker sexy in her own way. I'm gonna be honest with you. We supposed to be looking at the woman playing her daughter. I'm looking at her, and she had Maureen Stapleton's inflections and the voice down, even how she ran. So I had to give it up to Melissa Torme. She kicked ass. And Ike Barinholtz, I believe his name is, who played Mike, and I forget Ellie Kemper, who played Gloria. Perfect, spot on. But I'm gonna tell you something. Don't tell me how I knew, but I knew Jamie Foxx was gonna flub his line. I knew it because Jamie Foxx is best when he's taped. Not to say he's not a good actor, but what it is, Jamie Foxx is used to. How can I say this? He had to be staged a little bit more for him, and I should say, because he ain't done this live thing in a long time, I don't believe. But it was funny how he recovered. And if anybody saw it tonight, I don't know how Anthony Anderson kept a straight face. Well, all of them, they didn't keep a straight face. Matter of fact, they almost all broke character because when he messed up the line, he said, wait, it's live. It's live. I don't want anybody to think their TV messed up. Everybody. Wanda Sykes kept it a little better than everybody else. Marissa Tomei, I thought she was going to explode. Ike Barinholtz, who played Mike in the back, he had to cover his face. Ogra played Ellie Kemper. She had to keep smiling so hard. And then Woody Harrelson, he had to turn his whole body around. He couldn't keep a straight face. And when Jamie, how he recovered, I'm going to tell you, that's what everybody going to talk about because it was brilliant. Because everybody know, yo, this is live. Hey. Hey. But Jamie's the only one that really flubbed his line. Because he did it in the All Family part, which was noticeable, and he did in the Jeffersons part where he's talking to Will Ferrell. And Will Ferrell played Tom Willis. And Kerry Washington played Helen Willis. And I forget the actors. Now, the sister that played George Jefferson's mother, please forgive me, but this sister's been acting for years. She was in an episode of Different Strokes back in the day where she was and her husband was coming to adopt Willis and Arnold. I can't think of her name, but y'all know you see she's been acting for years. She was on that show, so it was sort of a love letter to the other Norman Lear show she was on. Cause a lot of people don't realize Different Strokes is a Norman Lear show. Yeah, I know, surprise. But when they brought in Marley Gibbs, that to me was the ultimate thank you. But I should have known when they brought Jackie Harry in, Marlon Gibbs is going to come in because Jackie Harry and Marlon Gibbs worked together on 227. And when I saw that, and it's sad, there's certain TV shows you watch and you realize a lot of these people are not here anymore. Let me remind y'all, Rob Reiner and Sally Struthers are the only surviving cast members of All in the Family. Every one of them is gone. Even the supporting players. Melvin, what's his name? I can't think of his name. He played Archie Pham. He's on the Brady Bunch. I can't think of his name. He died probably a few years back. No, I take that back. The only one survived besides Sally Struthers and Rob Reiner is James Cronin. He played an episode of All Family, Stretch Cunningham. Everybody else, they're gone. When you think about the Jeffersons, the Willises is gone, Mr. Bentley is gone, the Dorman is gone, Weezy and George is gone, even Lionel is gone. The second Lionel, he's still around, Jenny is still around, and the girl that played Jessica, their daughter, she's still around. I don't know if she's still acting now. So there's only 3 people, but Marla Gibbs is the I forget the one who played Jenny. They're the only 2 surviving original cast members of the Jeffersons that are alive now. And you got like on Different Strokes. When you watch the episode of Different Strokes, you realize Ty Bridges is the only one surviving cast member of Different Strokes. and I'm not, yeah, the guy who's 40 some years old plays Sam. He's still alive. But I'm talking about Mr. Drummond, Kimberly Arnold, Mrs. Garrett, Adelaide. I take that back. Pearl Housekeeper's still alive. But you guys get what I mean. And I mean go off on a tangent. But when you watch these shows, you can't help but think that sometimes. But anyways, I think Woody Harrelson probably should have dialed back the Carol Connor attempted mannerisms. But Marissa Tomei, spot on perfect. I'm not a fan of Wanda Sykes, but she did a good Wheezy. She's able to get through with it. Jamie, he knew he had to do some big shoes, and it was you saw a little Jamie Foxx get out of him, but something that Jamie Foxx did that I'm glad. What he did was, if you watch the Jeffersons from the first 3 seasons to the last season, the George Jefferson character changed a lot, mannerism-wise. Now, Jamie exaggerated certain things that we know of Sherman Hemsley with the movement and the walking and everything, and the way he said certain things that Sherman would do. And I'm gonna tell you something. Whoever did the wig, the toupee, the wig that Jamie did was perfect. They knew exactly to do, because in later years of the Jeffersons, when they did flashback, they always found a way they had to put a ball, some type of hat on Sherman Hemsley. Because I don't know, maybe they didn't have the prosthesis or the special effects wasn't what it was back then, the makeup. They could never recreate his original hairline. What I mean is, when they did episodes, when they did a flashback to the 1960s when they first opened their cleaners, George Jefferson was wearing a cap. And remember, people have to remember, when he was on All in the Family in the first few years of the Jeffersons, he had a full head of hair. It was starting to recede. What they did, they put that cotton, and they had to make, like, for some reason in the 70s, they thought once you got in your 40s, you start graying, look like an old man or something. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. But when I saw Jackie hair, I said, Marlon Gibbs got to be somewhere behind here. And when they had her come in and play Florence, everybody went crazy. And she still got the biggest laugh when she repeated that, "You got an apartment in here? You got an apartment in here?" Why nobody told we overcame? I'm not doing it justice, but that was funny. And the camera cut to Jamie Foxx trying not to cheer or laugh out loud, because it was a beautiful moment. But the thing is that when you look at the shows like All in the Family, the Jeffersons, and Sanford and Son, you really prove that it's hard to recreate that. But they came as close as they could. But I gotta mention something else. The actor, I don't know his name, who played Lionel, he did a spot on job to Michael Evans' Lionel. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. Michael Evans, he's never gotten his due, in my opinion, when he originated the character of Lionel, when he was on All in the Family, when he was on the Jeffersons, even when he came back to the Jeffersons in the later years, he's never gotten his due. Now, he died a few years back of cancer. He's also gone. But the actors that played Jenny, they trying hard to make this sister an actress. Let me tell you what I mean by this. When I first noticed her, I forget her name. I forget her name. I think his name is Amber something. But her father is Shadow Stevens. Now, if you don't know who he is, he's that white guy. You host the radio programs. He's the voice of the what's the show? Hollywood Squares back in the day. Her father is Shadow Steve, the white dude. Yeah, she got a white daddy, black mama. But she was on that show with that comic, the brother, and David Allegretti, the one, I can't remember the name. It was on NBC where they was talking shit about Cosby. She was on that show. It went 2 seasons. Then she went to this show on Fox with the brother that was from Chicago. He was a music teacher in real life. He was in the hot tub. Time machine, I can't think of his name right now. That didn't last a season. Then she was recently on the show with Damon Wayans' son, Damon Wayans Jr. And now they cast her in this. They trying hard to make her a star. I'm telling y'all, I don't know. She gonna be that chick that you gonna be like, wasn't she in that? Wasn't she in that? Hey, wasn't she in that? Because she played Jenny. And that's what I got. And let me see what else. This is what Jamie Foxx fucked up. Cause you can see Woody Harris in the back. You can see Ike. He trying not to laugh. She got that phony smile. He knew he messed up. It's hilarious as hell. If you didn't see it, if they would put this on DVD or play this shit is hilarious. Cause he said, "I know it's live." He said, "I messed it up." He said, "I want the people to know that it's on their TV." Anthony Anderson, he kept. I don't know how he not laughing in his face. Because we all know how Anthony Anderson is. But I guess to make a long story short, I enjoyed it. And it's kind of hard for me to enjoy something that I've already seen and people try to play it exactly as that. I really do think Woody Harrelson tried, don't get me wrong. But I think he went too far. Or at least he was trying too hard to copy Carol Connor. If he took it down just a bit, excuse me, I think it would have came off better, at least to me, because I kept hearing Carol Connor voice in that part. Because these episodes I watched so many times, I remember exactly the movements and stuff. But Jamie Foxx came in looking like George Jefferson. I mean, whoo, spot on. But you can tell the parts where he flubbed the lines because he did one. Will Ferrell almost laughed, and Jamie had to walk away. But I say this: I'm not a fan of Jimmy Kimmel, but I had to give props where props is due. But I'm just saying this: that I wish people would stop making it seem that Norman Lear was the creator of the Jeffersons and all this other Good Times. He was just the executive producer. He didn't even create All in the Family. It was based upon a British show, just like the Jeffersons. It was based upon another show. If you watch the end credits of All the Family except for Son, it'll tell you it's based upon another project. It's just that, excuse me, he Americanized it. And that's not the first time American shows do that. Guys, Shameless on Showtime is based on a show from Europe. The Office based on the show. So it's not the first time. It's just that I think since I've learned more about Norman Lear and Eric Monti over the years, I think people need to give credit's due. He created the Jeffersons. He created George Jefferson and whatnot. And before I go, I gotta say it was nice for them to acknowledge Marla Gibbs and come in and do her Florence character, because everybody know that she's irreplaceable. I think that's probably why they did what they did, and I think if they could, if there was some way they would have had Sally Struthers and Rob Reiner. But then again, I think Rob Reiner and Sally Struthers, well, at least Rob Reiner wanted to get as far away from Meathead as possible. I don't think he dismissed it or Sally, but I think they don't want to be associated with it at this point in their life. But they both in their 70s. And I think Marla, people have to understand, Marla made the show funny at times, because people have to remember when the Jeffersons premiered, the tone was totally different. And once you stop seeing Lionel on a regular basis and whatnot, George needed a foe, and Marla Gibbs was a foe, and how she delivered things. And if you guys ever get a chance, go look at the episode which they did this episode on, where they wanted the maid, and go back and watch how Marla sounded so young, how she delivered her lines, and then you'll understand why she's such a part of the Jeffersons. But it was a nice wink to the audience, I believe, and that was sweet. But I don't know if they ever do this again. But if they do, I wonder if they will. No, I don't give my ideas away. I'll just leave it at that. I wonder if they get the same actors again, and I wonder if they would do certain things different. But it was a nice experiment. It really was. So that's all I gotta say. What do you think? If you saw it, let me know what you think.